Farhan Qureshi, R. Madhavan, Raju Rastogi, Sharman Joshi, and Rankada's Rancho Shyamaldas Chanchad, Amir Khan, are three engineering students who share a room in a hostel at India's Imperial College of Engineering. Rancho comes from a wealthy family, whereas Farhan and Raju are average students from low-income families. Farhan aspires to be a wildlife photographer, but has enrolled in engineering school to fulfill his father's wish. Raju, on the other hand, wishes to improve the fortunes of his family. Rancho is a wealthy genius who studies simply for the sake of studying. Rancho's passion, on the other hand, is for knowledge and disassembling and rebuilding machines, rather than the traditional obsession of the other students with exam ranks. Rancho enrages the college's dean, Professor Viru Sahasrabuddha, Virus, with his unconventional approach, Boman Irani. Rancho irritates his lecturers by providing creative and unconventional responses, and confronts Virus after fellow student Joy Lobo hangs himself in his dorm room. Joy had requested a compassionate extension on his major project because his father had suffered a stroke, but Virus refused, claiming that he was completely unmoved by his own son's accidental death after being hit by a train. Rancho blames Lobo's death on the institution's rat race, dog-eat-dog, mindless rote learning mentality. Virus, threatened by Rancho's talent and free spirit, labels him an idiot, and makes several attempts to destroy his friendship with Farhan and Raju, warning them and their parents to avoid Rancho. Chatter Ramalingam, or Silencer, Omi Vaidya, on the other hand, sees a high rank at the prestigious college as his ticket to higher social status, corporate power, and thus wealth. Chatter conforms to the system's expectations. Rancho humiliates Chatter, who is given the honor of delivering a speech at an awards ceremony, by inserting obscenities into the text written by the librarian. Chatter, as expected, mindlessly memorizes the speech, oblivious to any errors, aided in part by his lack of Hindi knowledge. His speech makes the audience laugh, infuriating the authorities in the process. Meanwhile, Rancho falls in love with Virus medical student daughter Pia, Kareena Kapoor, after he, Raju, and Farhan crash her sister's wedding banquet to get a free meal, infuriating Virus even more. Meanwhile, the three students continue to irritate Virus, despite Rancho consistently coming first in every exam, Chatter always coming second, and Farhan and Raju always coming last. When the three friends, who are already drunk, break into Virus's house late at night to allow Rancho to propose to Pia, they then urinate on a door inside the compound before fleeing when Virus detects intruders. The following day, Virus threatens to expel Raju if he talks about the other two. Raju, unable to choose between betraying his friend and disappointing his family, jumps out of the third-floor window and lands on a courtyard, but awakens from a coma after extensive care from Pia and his roommates. Farhan and Raju's perspectives have shifted as a result of their encounter with Rancho. Farhan decides to pursue his passion for photography, while Raju takes an unusual approach to a corporate job interview. He attends in plaster and a wheelchair, giving a series of unconventional and candid responses. Virus, on the other hand, is unconcerned and vows to make the final exam as difficult as possible so that Raju does not graduate. Pia hears him and confronts him angrily, and when Virus gives the same ruthless response he gives to his students, she denounces him in the same way Rancho did after Lobo's suicide. Pia reveals that Viru's son, her brother, committed suicide in front of a train and left a letter because Virus had forced him to pursue a career in engineering over his love of literature. Virus always mentioned to every new intake of ICE students that he unsympathetically failed his son on the IC entrance exams over and over. Pia then exits the family home, carrying Virus's spare keys with her. Rancho learns about the exam from her, and he and Farhan break into Virus's office, steal the exam, and give it to Raju, who, with his newfound attitude, is unconcerned about failing, refuses to cheat, and throws the paper away. Virus, on the other hand, captures the trio and expels them on the spot. They are saved, however, when Viru's pregnant older daughter Mona Singh, goes into labor at the same time. A heavy storm knocks out all power and traffic, and Pia is still in self-imposed exile, so she instructs Rancho to deliver the baby via VoIP in the college common room after Rancho restores power using car batteries and a power inverter Rancho invented and Virus mocked. Rancho then uses an improvised vacuum extractor to deliver the baby. Rancho resuscitates the baby after it appears to be stillborn. Rancho and his friends are reconciled with Virus, who allows them to take their final exams and graduate. Rancho is the first to finish and receives Virus's pen, which the professor had kept for decades before finding a brilliant enough student to give it to. Their story is told in flashbacks from the present day, 10 years after Chatter vowed revenge on Rancho for embarrassing him on the night of the speech and promised to be more successful than Rancho a decade later. Raju and Farhan set out on a journey to find Rancho, who went missing during the graduation party and went into seclusion. Chatter, now a wealthy and successful businessman, joins them, boldly confident that he has surpassed Rancho. Chatter is also hoping to strike a deal with a well-known scientist and potential business partner named Funsuk Wangdu. Chatter sees Wangdu, who possesses hundreds of patents, as his ticket to greater social status. When they arrive at Rancho's home, they enter his father's funeral and discover a completely different Rancho Jaffrey. The host pulls a gun on them after accusing the new man of stealing their friend's identity and profiting from his intellect, but Farhan and Raju turn the tables by seizing the father's ashes and threatening to flush them down the toilet. The householder gives in and says that their friend was a destitute servant boy who loved learning, whereas he, the real Rancho, was a lazy wealthy child who disliked study, so the family agreed to let the servant boy study instead of working. In exchange, the real Rancho would pocket the qualifications and benefits, while the impersonator would cut all ties with the outside world and begin a new life. The real Rancho reveals that his impersonator is now a Ladakh schoolteacher. Raju and Farhan then track down Pia and travel her from her wedding day to Suhas by impersonating the groom at the ceremony and eloping in public with Pia. When they arrive in Ladakh, they are greeted by a group of enthusiastic Ladakhi children who are driven by a desire to learn. Pia and the phony Rancho rekindle their romance, while Chatter mocks and abuses Rancho the schoolteacher before leaving. When his friends inquire about his real name, he reveals it is Phunsuk Wangdu and calls Chatter, who has turned his back on him, to turn around and meet his prospective business partner. Chatter is shocked and falls to his knees, accepting defeat and continuing to argue his case with Phunsuk in order to establish the business relationship he desired. Please like, share and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching this video.